What's going on, Apes, the Ape Army, brothers and sisters alike? My name is Tyler and welcome back to the channel. Now, in this video, we have to talk about payment for order flow, which brokerages use this, which do not use this, how much they are getting paid off of us, better known as a kickback, and the fact that if people stopped using these brokerages, we would have a huge impact on the money that Citadel is making. And as we do know, Citadel is behind a lot of fraud, corruption, and manipulation that is going on in AMC stock, but in the overall stock market, they have been fined for this multiple times. We're not talking a small amount of money, hundreds of millions of dollars. So we know this is going on. So I'm going to be giving you guys the facts as well as my total speculation, what they are doing as far as manipulating the bids and asks of AMC stock that is helping keeping the share price actually down. So with that being said, hit that like button for me, consider subscribing to the channel, and with that, let's get into the video. And this video was actually brought to my attention by Michael Ruiz. He says, Tyler, we want more exposure of the payment for order flow issue. If everyone stopped using payment for order flow apps, Webull, Robinhood, etc., and instead traded directly with the New York Stock Exchange, then Citadel would lose a huge advantage, our trade data, on top of the lost advantage of routing our buys to the dark pool, which is true. I've read Citadel can hide our trade for up to 35 days. They will hit the public market eventually, but only at times best for Citadel. Today, 67% of orders were in the dark pool. That means 33% of our buys at best made it to the public market. 67% means a lot of apes don't know that we allow it. Please expose and teach alternatives regularly. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for this comment first and foremost, but this is something that is very important that I don't think is talked about much, especially on YouTube. And this is a huge problem overall in our financial markets, but I think it's very important to acknowledge what is going on here, how much they do get paid for this, as well as the overall power, like Michael Ruiz said, that Citadel does have. Because let's go over to here for actual payment for order flow on Wikipedia, and we're going to read this briefly. It literally says Citadel is the largest payment for order flow buyer. They are the largest market maker in the world. So they are behind this fraud, manipulation, and corruption in AMC stock. So payment for order flow is the compensation as much as 1 penny per share that a stockbroker receives from a market maker in exchange for the broker routing its clients' trades to such market maker. It is a controversial practice that has been called a kickback. At 1 penny per share on millions of shares, that adds up to be quite a bit of money. So we're not actually getting our best executions. And Citadel in particular has been fined billions and billions of dollars in the past with multiple different cases settling out of court for billions of dollars, like I said. So it's not a question of if this is going on, it is if it is going on with AMC stock, or how large of an extent is going on. So that is what I do think is happening with AMC. I think that's why when we are buying the dip, you're not really seeing the price getting reflected that we are buying the dip so hard. So that is what I do think is going on there. But let's continue with this payment for order flow Wikipedia article. So in general, market makers, the largest of which is Citadel LLC, are willing to pay brokers for the right to fulfill small retail orders. The market maker makes a profit from the bid-ask spread and rebates a portion of this profit to the routing broker as payment for order flow. Another fraction of a penny per share may be routed back to the consumer as price improvement. Yeah, that's not happening with AMC stock. Brokers in the United States that accept payment for order flow include Robinhood, E-Trade, Ally Financial, Webull, TradeStation, the Vanguard Group, Charles Schwab Corporation, and TD Ameritrade, while brokers that do not receive payment for order flow include Interactive Brokers, Pro Accounts that are charged commissions, Merrill Edge, and Fidelity Investments. Also, there is a brokerage called Public. They do not do payment for order flows as well. They are a newer brokerage, but using the link down below in the description, no deposit necessary, no need to link a bank account, and you get your free stock in about 3 minutes time. So you are a fool if you do not do that and get your free stock. It is free money. There's no way you can lose by doing that. Now let's continue on this article because it gets very interesting. So in the United States, accepting payment for order flow is only allowed if no other exchange is quoting a better price on the national market system. The broker must disclose to the client that it accepts payment for order flow transactions must be executed at the best execution, which could mean the best price available or the speediest execution available. That is very important. We are going to look at another article in just 1 second about best execution. but it does continue to go on. Payment for order flow is not allowed in Canada, and therefore Canadian brokers charge commissions. It is also banned in the United Kingdom. Why are countries banning payment for order flow? Because there is a lot of fraud, corruption, and manipulation that goes on behind the scenes of payment for order flow. We have seen this multiple times, like I said, in multiple different lawsuits for billions and billions of dollars in total. And using these brokerages that route order flows to Citadel is hurting the AMC movement, because we are not getting the best pricing available, while they are also manipulating the pricing we are actually getting the stock for. But let's get into a little bit more of this article and then switch to best execution. So in 2014, the United States Senate Homeland Security Permanent Subcommittee on Investigations, led by Carl Levin, conducted hearings focused on the conflicts of interest inherent in payment for order flow. At the hearings, an executive for TD Ameritrade said that it routed orders to wherever it can get the highest payment. So if they're getting a higher payment from somebody else and they're going with this, especially every time, that means that you are getting a worse payment and it is not influencing the stock as much as it really should. Now, in 2020, payment for order flow received by TD Ameritrade, Charles Schwab, E-Trade, and Robinhood totaled $2.5 billion. So a lot of money that is coming off of the backs of retail investors. In 2021, after the GameStop short squeeze, officials again questioned whether retail traders were getting the best possible prices on their orders. And obviously, we know we are not. There is so much evidence. You can't even argue this at this point. But analysis, the conflict of interest. Payment for order flow has been described as a conflict of interest. Payment for order flow can cause orders that are executable to not get executed, as they are routed to market makers and pay the highest amount. Retail traders generally have less information than institutions. Adverse selection. So check out what it just said here. Payment for order flow can cause orders that are executable to not get executed, as they are routed to market makers that pay the highest amount. So that is essentially what my guy Michael Ruiz was saying, that they can basically hold on to these orders. He said for 35 days. I have not found any direct evidence of this, but they can nevertheless hold on to these orders for essentially as long as they want to make the most money on this. So you're not actually getting your orders executed right away, which is hurting the movement so much. We do know this. It is common sense. But that's pretty much all we do have for this. Let's get into best execution. So what you guys really need to know about best execution is that it's really not the best execution you could possibly get, and this is really up to the discrepancies or the decisions of the market makers and where they actually want to fill your orders or even route these orders. So it says right here, brokers consider when executing customer orders include the opportunity for a better price than quoted, speed of execution, and the likelihood of trade execution. That is key. The likelihood of trade execution. That is basically saying that if they don't think that the shares would actually get filled at that price, they don't have to even try to fill them at that price. They can do whatever they want. So best execution is not actually best execution. So that is pretty much all for this video, guys. If you do want to check out the link down below for public and start routing your orders straight to the lit exchanges and side pass the whole Citadel fraud, manipulation, and corruption that is going on, get the best pricing, and ultimately help the AMC short squeeze more than you even think, check out the link for public down below in the description, as well as if you guys want to be notified every time I buy the dip or make a trade in AMC or any other stock, check out the link for the buy and sell alerts. It literally pays for itself, and you guys join a great community. But let me know in the comment section what you guys think about this. I love your input and pretty much respond to every single comment. So with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.